and welcome to the Othelia Joy Show, here for your enjoyment. I am so honored to be doing my first documentary on my beloved country, Liberia. As you all may know, July 26th marks the Independence Day of the Republic of Liberia. Liberia owes its establishment to the American colonization in 1816, where free slaves from America came to Liberia. So for this documentary, you have to stay tuned because you're going to be hearing some personal stories about the Civil War, views on Liberia, and of course, the history of our country. So stay tuned and enjoy this documentary. Once again, happy July 26th. My first interview is with a Liberian native. We both had a great discussion about his childhood, about his education, about things that he experienced back home. So we got really close and personable, so take a look. So I'm here with Zoeborn Gbana. Zoeborn, my friend, how are you?
I'm fine. Thank you for inviting me to your show.
Of course. Thank you for participating. So we're here for a documentary, like I said before. So Zoeborn is a community leader with a contagious, and when I say contagious, I mean contagious personality. Look at the man. First of all, let me acknowledge your Liberia hat. So who made this for you, Zoeborn?
I bought this 2 years ago from some Liberian gathering they had in Sacramento.
Nice.
And I still keep it, and I've always been complimented for it.
Yes, and you're rocking it with fashion. I love it. It's beautiful. Even on the side of the hat, it has the Liberian flag. And then if you look, we turn your head this way, Zoeborn. We have another flag on there. Beautiful, nice. All right, Zoeborn, so this is gonna be a documentary about Liberia. We're celebrating our July 26th Independence Day. So you're gonna tell us more about your story and how you came to the United States, the influences that Liberia has put in you, and etc. So let's start with your childhood. So tell us a little bit more about your childhood in Liberia. Like where were you born, where were you raised, school, etc.
Well, I was originally born in Kakata, Magibi County. And I did my primary education at the St. Augustine Episcopal High School in Kakata. And later I went on to the College of West Africa in 10th grade. But I had to step back because my father, being a disciplinarian, felt that I would have been persuaded by my peers in Monrovia, so he demanded that I go to Booker Washington Institute in Calcutta, and which of course I don't regret today because I learned a lot of stuff from BWI. I was an accountant student, and I did my internship at the Liberian Oil Refinery.
Nice.
And then the Civil War took place, and so we had to migrate to the Ivory Coast. And we went to the Ivory Coast. We stayed there for 3 years where I learned a little bit of French, and I made more friends. And in Abidjan, they called me at the time the ambassador because we were one of those first Liberians to escape the war, and so we established a base in Makori, like Cote d'Ivoire. And so a lot of Liberians came to Abidjan, and they had to come to my house to receive telephone calls from their relatives in America and get their control numbers to be able to get their money, and they would spend the night and so and go. And from there, I started to gain all this popularity. I mean, I did it not because I wanted them to pay me. I did it because I understood what we were going through, not only as Liberians, but also as humans. And so we had a nice time in Ivory Coast, and then the war in Liberia subsided. So I went back and completed my education, my high school from the College of West Africa, and moved on to the University of Liberia, where I got a bachelor's in accounting. And my father, you know, back in the day, your parents dictate to you what they want you to be. It's not what you want to be. And so my father wanted me to become a lawyer, and I completed my bachelor's, and I went on to the law school, Louis Arthur Graham School of Law. And I stayed there for like 2 semesters, but I found out that they were really not ready And secondly, that was not what I really wanted to do.
You said you escaped the war from Liberia to Ivory Coast.
Yes.
So tell us about the war itself. Like, how was your experience during the war?
Well, my experience during the war was very terrible because you had people coming towards the city that you really did not know.
And who are those people?
Well, they were considered rebels. At the time they were talking, we were hearing about Charles Taylor, Prince Johnson, and those were the two big names.
Right.
And the president at the time was Samuel Doe, who was in the executive mansion. And so in order to get Doe, they had to kill a lot of people, harass a lot of people, intimidate a lot of people. So we had to escape to the farm, and we hid in the bushes for many months, eating like stuff that you won't normally eat. But we
Like what? Tell us. We want to know. Let's be honest. Let's tell it as it is. You know, what kind of stuff did you guys eat when you guys were hiding in the bush?
Well, we ate leaves that were not our normal greens. Sometimes that was the only meal we had for the whole day. Sometimes we'll find cassava. Oh, then that was a Christmas meal. Yeah, and a lot of people died during that time because of sickness, not because of the war, not because of guns. Like, I escaped death like just by an inch because I got severely sick, I think from eating something, and there was actually no doctors around.
Right.
But I think God saved me because there was this man who was from Ghana. He said I should drink some kind of leaf that he boiled. He said it would help with malaria, and that made it worse.
Wow.
But praise God.
See, Africans have that natural herb. Forget medicine. Who cares about aspirin, ibuprofen, all that stuff? Forget that stuff.
Yes.
Take me back to that noise, you know, when they were shooting, trying to kill people. How did you feel? Were you scared? Did you know what to, how were your thoughts during that time? Because I don't know how I could have imagined someone coming to me with a gun shooting. I don't know what I would have done. So please, take me back to that day when you heard the guns drumming in the air.
Well, as far as I can remember, OJ, I'll tell you, I really did not see the person with the gun. But hearing, I did not see the person shooting the gun. But just hearing that sound, I never ever knew that I could be able to get into the kitchen cabinet. I never knew I could fit in the kitchen cabinet. When you are faced with death and you have no way to escape, you can try and experiment anything. And we were hiding under the beds, like when they start to shoot, it's not, Mama, please hide me, Daddy, please hide me.
Everyone's for themselves.
Everybody for yourself. And so, I remember one time I found my hiding place, which was in the kitchen cabinet, and I fitted in that cabinet. Till today, when I think about it, I just start to laugh, you know, and know that God has everyone for a purpose. You know, I got to the airport, I had on my gloves, I had on my mask, I had on my gown, you know, but when I got there, it was kind of different. It was like I was going to either have to take one glove off from just touching something or touching someone and changing it. That is like maybe 2 gloves in a second. And I felt that was useless because like these gloves get contaminated just by touching something. And so I actually decided not to use any gloves, but not to just shake anyone's hand to be on the safe side. You know, but... You
said not to just shake anyone's hand. How would you know if someone was infected by the disease?
No, I mean, like, I decided not to shake nobody's hand.
So even your family member you went to visit, you're like, hello from a distance? Is that how you acted?
That's how, that's the spirit that I left from America with and went to Liberia. But then when I got there, being a nurse, I was like, no. If someone has Ebola, first of all, that person cannot even get off from their bed. And the signs and symptoms of Ebola were like the same signs and symptoms of malaria. And so people misunderstood the whole thing. And that's how I feel a lot of people got killed in Liberia from Ebola. Because if someone had malaria and someone had Ebola, and as soon as they come up with that high fever, you're like, oh, they have Ebola. And you put them with that person, you just contaminated that person.
That's true. You're absolutely right about that.
And that's how a lot of people die in Liberia, because that's how I studied it to be. So at my father's funeral, I was like, I think this thing is not going nowhere, and like you haven't seen your family for so long, you haven't seen your friends for so long, and they came to sympathize with you. It just became so emotional. I'm like, well, if they have Ebola and they can come to my dad's funeral, then let me die with them. And I started to hug everyone at the funeral.
Right.
And I mean, I came back to America safe and sound.
Yes, you did. Wow, what an incredible story.
Yeah.
Because when I heard about the Ebola crisis, I was afraid for those who were going back to Liberia. I actually heard about you going. I was like, Zoeborn. Zoeborn, I know you have the best personality in this world, but you are brave, my friend. That's good. Did anybody look upon you here in the United States when you told them you're going to Liberia?
Well, I got a lot of petitions from the Liberian community in Sacramento that I should not go to bury my dad. But like I said earlier, my dad was the best dad in the whole world. I mean, when I was a kid, he spanked me a lot, and I hated him for that. But little did I know he tried to make me a man of who I am today, and that's one of the reasons I call him my hero. You know, because like in America today, you cannot spank the kids. You cannot even discipline them hard, you know. They're going to be calling CPS on you and all of that. But I think that is good for the kids. When they get older, they end up being good products of the community, you know. Like, I mean, I cannot bring up my son like my dad brought me up when he spanked me, but I come down hard on him, you know, because if I don't, I know what peer pressure is, especially in this country. I work in the prison system. I see people his age who are there for things that they have no business being there for. They should have been in school. But because everything they did, they were right, you know, to their parents, that's how they end up in prison, you know, and it's so sad to see young people in America in prison, whereas they had all the opportunity they have in this country and they didn't make use of it, you know, and like we coming from a third world country and we try to make use of it, try to explore every benefit that we can, you know, so.
Right. Great story. So we're celebrating our July 26th. So what would you say, or how would you say have our country improved on since being established or since our Independence Day in 1847?
Well, I will just say they have improved in certain things and they have not improved. They are below expectation in certain things. Like, for example, I was in Liberia December, January. And my impression about the people in Liberia is that they are not willing to learn. They just want to be in the old ways, you know. Most of them, I don't want to say all of them, but 90% of them are liars. They are thieves.
Tell as it is.
They are
90%, Zoeborn, that's a very high number. That's like an A.
I am telling you, 90%
No
of
sugarcoating
them,
here.
No sugarcoating.
Yes.
90% of these people, they cannot tell you anything for you to believe. And they are not willing to learn. When you try to tell them, oh, I think it's supposed to be this way. Like my uncle, he said the math in America is different from the math in Liberia. Like really?
Like 2 plus 2?
Yeah.
We say 4, but is it 5 in Liberia?
And my friend told him, no. 1 plus 1 even in China is 2. Yeah, you know.
Woo,
so
yes.
That's just
it's universal.
That's just how bad it is. And so as a result, I decided not to say anything to nobody. I cannot trust anyone in Liberia to do anything for me. I don't know how some people are doing this thing here, sending money, say they're doing business, and they're in America, say they're building houses, and they're in America. I mean, you will go and you will see the person you're sending your money to, that person having 2 or 3 houses, and you even got land. Okay? I've seen it happen.
Oh, that's why I love Zoeborn.
They take people houses pictures, they send it to you in America, say this is your house. And when you go there, you got nothing. I had an aunt who sent all her money back to Africa to build her house, hoping she was going to retire and go there. When she got there, she didn't even have a land.
What?
And she fell right there and she died.
Oh my goodness.
She already retired. You know, I mean, it's so hard, it's disgusting.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking.
You know, you cannot trust not anyone. I personally don't trust anyone in Liberia no more. No.
You have to go there and do your own business
Your own thing.
in person.
Yeah.
I see. Well, Zoeborn, thank you so much for sharing your stories. This is going to be shown on our July 26th celebration. So again, you shared such a wonderful story, and I really appreciate you for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you, Zoeborn, of course. Not only that I had the privilege of interviewing my guests, but I also got to hear their point of views, and this is what they had to say.
My feeling about Liberia right now as we celebrate our independence is that, to be honest, I am very disgusted about Liberia right now, because I know how we grew up in Liberia, what our morals were, and compared to what I have seen over the last 6 years going back to Liberia, I am disgusted. The people are not willing to learn. The city is very filthy. They trust. You can't find no one that you can trust. That is saddening, that I can sit here and say I don't trust anyone in Liberia. And I really don't know if it's because of what happened during the 1980 war. I don't know if it's a curse, the 1980 coup. I don't know if it's a curse on Liberia, but we need to ask God for complete forgiveness. Complete forgiveness, that Liberia will be that sweet land of liberty that we know it to be. That Liberia will be that land of freedom where everyone wanted to go to, where everyone wanted to live in, you know. But right now, you're not even safe. Safety is an issue. You know, people try to arm rob you, people try to hijack you. You walk the streets of Monrovia, people are begging you everywhere. You cannot even walk the streets if you came from America. They're running behind you, they want money, they want money. Where are you getting this money from? You know, we work so hard here for our money. We have bills we have to pay. You think they understand that? No, they don't. All they know, you came from America, you brought money. They're not considering how much money you pay for your ticket. They're not considering how much money you have to pay to stay in a hotel, because you cannot steal in somebody's house to call armed robbers to come and get on them in their own house. They don't understand that you have to buy your own food because you can't eat the food that they eat. You know, so Liberians, we need to pray for Liberia, and we need to talk to these people to change their ways, to change their attitude. There's no tree in America where you shake for money. No. Like, I've been working almost 18 hours since yesterday. I only had like 2-3 hours of sleep, you know. So we need to change our minds, change our notion, pray for Liberia, that Liberia will be a great land of liberty again. Thank you.
And that's it. I hope you had a wonderful time watching the July 26th documentary. Once again, happy Independence Day to all my fellow Liberians and friends of Liberia all around the globe. As we gather to celebrate the 169 years anniversary of our homeland, let us not forget who we are and where we come from. Let us remind ourselves that though we may be from many tribes, we're still one nation. Our Liberian people are proud, resourceful, patriotic, despite all the hardship and horror of the Civil War. We continue to rise and put our nation first. The future holds nothing but possibilities if we just work together for the common good of Liberia. Long live the Republic of Liberia, and long live the Liberian people. Happy July 26th. My 26th on you all.